on a Friday night yet.
Three, two, one, go! 2, 1, go! 2, 1, go! Three, two, one, go! 3, 2, 1, go! Three, two, one, go! 3, 2, 1, go! Three, two, one, go! Three, two, one, go! Three, two, one, go!
I am the real one. Ruckus.
Three, two, one, go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Friday night yet. Think you got what it takes?